Hello, welcome to our webinar about customer intelligence. Well, it's a very important topic, of course, at any time of the year. But I strongly believe, especially now that we are about to start a new year in the middle of all this global pandemic and everything that's happening, we're about to start a new year. It's always a restart, a refresh, new strategies, new energy. And this topic it's very important, as I mentioned, but also we have seen so many e-commerce neglecting, not taking really care of how they deal with their customer base, how they understand their customers, know who their customers are, and how to talk to their customers in the correct way, in a way that will convert into sales and retention. The client comes over and over again. So this is with what everyone wants, right? You want your clients to buy and also to buy many times from you for the long period, right? That's what we all want. So let's talk. Let's see. We have very good topics today. I will share my screen with you now so we can move on. One second. Okay, I think the screen now is being shared. Let me open this up here. All right. Let's dive in this customer intelligence for e-commerce. How can we really use that, apply that to our business strategies and make more from it? Well, I'm running this webinar from edrone. If you are an attendee who was invited and you don't know who edrone is, I'm going to talk a little bit about edrone throughout the webinar. But here, just this quick overview. We are a tech company 100% dedicated to e-commerce. We only work with e-commerce businesses. This is something that is very important to us to be focused so we can deliver good quality of our products and everything we do because we know exactly for who we're selling to, for who we're helping to. So it's very important for us to be dedicated to e-commerce. We are present in over 20 countries around the world. In major, it's of course here around Poland, the Central European Union, where we are located, our headquarters, and Brazil. Brazil is our second largest market, and we are growing so fast and so in a substantial way in Brazil. It's very good to see the response our Brazilian clients are giving to our system and how they're getting better results by using our platform. And we recently were backed from this investors group, and it was our first investment after 4 years bootstrapping. It was a very good milestone, very important milestone in our history. And this, we got more than $5 million. This has been public already, and it will ignite so many chains and development in the product and people and everything. So we will deliver even better products from now on. 2021 will be a great year. We process over 30 million transactions for more than 1,000 clients around the world. And our structure, as you can see, is 60% engineering and customer success, and the other 40% is marketing, administration, partners, sales, and this is our composition. So it's a little bit about edrone. And myself, I'm André Floriano. I'm Brazilian, living in Poland with my family. I have 4 kids and my wife. We live here in Poland for a couple of years. I had the opportunity to live for more than a decade in the United States, where I went to university. I graduated from business there. Then I returned to Brazil for a couple of years. I stayed in Brazil. I studied a little bit, worked a little bit, and then moved to Poland to work for edrone. And it's been great to be here. And I know many people think, "Wow, you're Brazilian, you like soccer." No, I don't. I don't like. I don't understand. I like surfing. That's what I always say, right? That's kind of weird. Everyone expects Brazilians to like soccer, but I have no idea what's going on there. Well, customer intelligence, right? This is just, I already mentioned about this topic, gave this quick intro, and now let's start diving. Well, it's not a cliche term. It's not something that we just mentioned because it sounds fancy, it sounds interesting to use the word intelligence. Well, you have intelligence for many things. You have intelligence, national intelligence. You see the countries, they have their agencies. Very famous one in the United States agency, CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, Federal Bureau of Intelligence. They have situation room. They have many other agents. Every country, they don't have only one agent. They have a central, but also many other agencies that helps them with intelligence. So we will investigate what this term really is and what it matters, how it matters for your e-commerce, for your business. It's very important to know that. So the more you understand who is your clients and how your client thinks and behaves, the more you can have these clients to convert, and the more you can attract clients similar to this one that you have. So if you don't know how your client behaves and details, you won't be able to talk effectively to this client, and you won't be able to attract more clients similar like that. You're going to continue to throw your net, trying to catch whatever fish comes to your net, and it's not like that. You know that solid success for companies and growth requires strategy. You cannot just try. You need to be assertive. You have some measures, some specific important moments of tests and trials, of course, but your business cannot depend only on that. You need to be chirurgical. You need to have numbers. You need to plot the numbers. And for that, you need data to be processed, information to be generated, application of that information, which is called intelligence. We will see in a minute here what this term really means. Our topics for today, very basic description. I say basic not in a simplification way. I not want to make it so simple, it's not the point. It's because this is general. As I mentioned, we have intelligence for countries, we have intelligence for companies. We're talking about intelligence for customer, right? So we will dive into what you expect for your e-commerce. You expect growth, you expect more sales, and maybe the root of sales is not only communicating more your message, but to who you communicate your message and how you communicate your message. It's not the number of people you reach. If you're reaching the right people at the right time with the right offer, and you only know that if you know your clients, you know who these people are. That's why you need to have intelligence. Then we will go and talk about the core, why it's at the core, it should be at the core of every marketing strategy for every e-commerce company. We go over the power of RFM. If you're not familiar with RFM analysis, this methodology that helps you to understand in a very precise way who's your client, we will cover this here. And I will explain to you why us, edrone, we want to be the Central Intelligence Agents, getting the term here from the CIA, right? We want to be the place where you have data being, we fed our system with data, we feed our system with data. This is processed by our algorithms, and we can give you valuable pieces of information that can be applied. And this is what we know as intelligence. So what is customer intelligence? I already mentioned, of course, but here let's see in a more broader way. As I mentioned, you have data coming in from everywhere when customers visit your website, when some visitors come. So you go there outside in the real world, and you try to get visitors to come, right? You try to attract their attention. Facebook ads, Google ads, Outbrain, your blog, your podcast, your organic content, marketing content, your newsletters. You're always trying to reach people and saying to them, listen, qualify your leads and saying, listen, come to my website because what I have to sell, what I have to offer is valuable. So, and like you, as you know, you have competitors, you have other companies doing the same to get their attention. So here's a game where you're fighting for attention. Sometimes we have the impression that we're fighting for the credit card. So they need to pass the credit card and buy from you. But actually, there is a layer before that, which is attention. If you don't get their attention, you don't get their credit card. So you need to get the attention, right? And here you have data. So they come to your website. We're going to talk about this attention more in the moment, okay? So you have, when a visitor comes to a website, every action this visitor takes, product the visitors view, they view this product, they view this category, he added this product to cart, another one to cart, and then he purchased that, or filled up this form, or click it here, click it there, how long he spent on the website, how long he spent on this page, on this product. He read the description? He read the description. So everything is data coming to your system. But data means nothing if it's not properly collected. So you need to know which data you want to collect. It's not because you have there thousands of pieces of data that everyone is representative, everyone is important for your specific strategy. So knowing which data you want to collect, that's the first thing. So most important, I'm talking about data, I just mentioned, you need to know which product your clients are viewing. You need to know which product they are adding to cart. You need to know which product they're buying, which categories they're choosing. These information are very valuable, and you will understand this when we talk about the RFM. So here you are having this data coming, flowing to your website. Then you're processing this data, collecting this data, and processing this data. This processing of the data generates pieces of information. And this information is what you need to apply. And the application of what you know is called intelligence. So we hear the saying that knowledge is power, right? It's not correct. Knowledge is not power. Power is what you can do, right? You cannot do anything with knowledge unless you apply that knowledge. So applied knowledge is power. When you apply what you know, then you have the power to change things, to increase things, to improve things. So you always have to hunt information, but also once you have those information at your hands, you need to know how to apply the information. So effectively generating intelligence for your business. In this case, we're talking about intelligence for clients, which is collecting that data from clients, processing this data, generating that information, and applying that information to your communication with your client, to understand your client. So your client that is in-house, is already within your environment, your website, your emails, your campaigns, and also your prospect, people who are trying to attract the attention, but you haven't reached them yet. So it's important, it will help you to do that. Well, we all have the experience with these services that we use, Netflix, Spotify, Amazon, to experience this segment of one technology. Segment of one is when you, in real world, when you open your Netflix and you have your profile completely different than mine, than your spouse, than your friends, because each one has our own, we all have our own preferences, our own interests. So, and the algorithm behind these tools are there. It's always calculating and input these inputs of interest and generating what you want to see. And this is really powerful. We all benefit from that. We all benefit when you open your Netflix or your Spotify and you have there the programs, the channels that you like. You don't need to go over a bunch of things that you don't like. Sometimes, of course, it appears because there are some kinds of tests that these technologies that make, but most of that, like 80% plus, are what you're interested in. And the good news is you don't need to be a giant. We don't need to be Amazon, eBay, and these giant companies to have access to that. Anyone, any size of e-commerce nowadays, you can have access to this kind of technology. They'll help you to filter these inputs, this data coming into your system, and processing this in order for you to have information, good piece of information, to apply this information and to generate this intelligence, this customer intelligence. So, and why it should be at the core. That's something very important to understand. First thing, you need to know your clients. Well, we've talked already. I mentioned this. I'm repeating myself, but I want to mention in this way. You know that if you have a party, let's give this example. If you have a party, you want to throw a party, and you want to invite people, You don't just open the door of your house and say, okay, whoever comes, that's okay. No, if you want to have a good outcome, a good party, you want to invite people that you know, right? You want to invite people that you're familiar with and that knows you, that you know them. That's, I think that's very basic, right? So the more you know people who are coming to a party, that means that the outcome of this party will be better, right? If you just invite people, everyone that comes, you don't know, it would be kind of weird, especially when people don't know each other, you don't know their behaviors, what their interests. So it's not how it works. So you always want to be surrounded if you want to have good outcomes on your social life, familiar life, professional life. You want to be surrounded with good people, quality people. So and you only know if that person is good or bad or it's appropriate for you to hang with or not is if you know that person, know the interests, know their behaviors, know what they do. So the more you know, the better will be the relationship and the longer will be the relationship. With customers are the same. If you treat your customer like everybody else, if you don't stop to pay attention who my clients really are, what they like, how they think, yes, how they think, what's the seasonality that they take to purchase, how they purchase, how they behave to this offer, to that offer. If you don't create this system to analyze that, you will miss a lot because you will be just throwing cards, trying to get everyone's attention, but at the same time, you get no one's that really matters to your business. Well, the second important reason is because it keeps you up to date to competition. Well, if you're not doing that, one or other competitor they are doing. So you need to think like that as well. Listen, I'm not the only one here. If I'm not paying attention to customer intelligence, if I'm just trying to sell, that's it. I'm taking care of supply. I'm taking care of logistic. I'm taking care of my personal. I'm taking personal. I'm taking care of my business, but I'm kind of neglecting the customer intelligence scenario. How can I really work on that to know my clients? If you not pay attention to that, believe, unfortunately or fortunately, you have other people, other companies doing that, and you don't want to be the left behind. You want to be playing the game. So it's important in a competitive way as well for you to be ahead of the curve. You need to understand who's your client is because you're fighting for these clients outside to get their attention. So you need to know who your clients, to know to be up front of your competition. And of course, these will culminate on the growth, stable growth of your e-commerce, not only on the short term, but also on the medium and the long term. You're not here in this game just for now. I believe you're here in this game for the long term, right? So if you're focusing on the long term, you need to find a way to increase your branding value. People need to love your brand, to love your company, and your market share needs to increase. And with that, your revenue. That's what makes your long-term health successful. Otherwise, if you're just working for the short term, try to sell now, to do whatever now to make it happen, but not focusing on growing, on growth in a stable way, well, there comes many other offers, many other companies in the market, and you know how hard it will be to compete. So that's why customer intelligence is at the core. It guides all your marketing strategies. Your marketing strategies cannot, you can make beautiful designs, nice campaigns, but if you don't know the language to use to different kinds of customers, you will miss the point. It will have many rows in your bucket and water will flow out. You miss, So the idea is the more you understand the different kinds of clients you have, the better you can communicate with different kinds of clients and your results will come, follow suit, will improve as well. And in this direction, here comes RFM analysis. I don't know if you're familiar with RFM analysis. If not, you should. RFM analysis is simply a great way for you to know and to understand your clients. We use with this analysis three variables, which are the most important: recency, frequency, and monetary value. Sometimes we believe that our persona is only based on some macro characteristics. I say macro because it doesn't change in a very dynamic way. Gender, age, geo localization, social, economic position. These are more macro. When you come to the micro detail, micro segment of your analysis, you will see that there are variables that are dynamically being changed. And these are the reasons. How recent this client bought, how frequent he buys, and how much he spends. According to the answer to these questions, you start to classify your clients. And this is really powerful. In edrone, we use the methodology of 10 classifications. So as you see here, each one of these colorful boxes, they are classifications of clients. So you have in one corner there, the up right side here, the champions. They are your best clients. They are your ideal clients. You wish that everyone were like them. You wish, but that's not reality. Not because you're doing something bad. That's how the marketplace. That's how it goes, right? The division is really stable, really straightforward across the board. Every company has the same system because this is how the market behaves. So when you see your champions, they represent your ideal clients, but you know they're very small in numbers, but you can use that in your favor. At the same time, you see your lost clients or your hibernating clients, they are in large numbers. And this is also a reality. This is not something bad. This is real. This is what happens. But you can use that in your benefit. Let me show you in a better view what do I mean with that. I will change my screen here, move to this mind map, and continue from here. Okay, we see here some families of features from edrone, but I want to talk about RFM. We come here in customer intelligence, so we have the CRM, dynamic segmentation, and then we have the RFM. Well, RFM, as I mentioned, you're measuring how recent your client bought, how frequently he buys, and how much money he spends. And this classification, we can create three levels: the higher RFM, the middle RFM, and the lower RFM. And what does this mean? Well, who are the clients present in your high RFM? Well, the clients that loves you. As I mentioned, they are your ideal customer. They love you and they are your champions, right? They are always creating a way to buy from you, to communicate about you, to recommend you. They love you. Who's your worst clients, your low RFM? Well, your low RFM are the clients they are indifferent to you. They just don't care about your existence. They not even remember your name, your logo, your brand. Not that. They bought from you once, but they don't know who you are. They don't remember the color of your business. They don't know. They're just indifferent about you. And this is your problematic customer in the sense that, well, they cost you money to come for you to bring them to your website. You know how's your customer acquisition process, how do you generate your leads, how your funnel operates, but it cost you money to come. They came, they bought just once, long time ago, and they spent very little money. And the lifetime value, as you analyze this KPI as well, your customer lifetime value is really low, not to say zero, because they don't come back and they don't have any good spending, high spending. It's very insignificant. So this the kind of clients that you don't want to attract to your business. You don't want to attract this kind of client. But how can you tell your advertisement, your management that is taking care of your traffic, your campaigns and everything? How do you understand who you want to attract, who you don't want to attract, if you don't have a clear vision who they are from the real world of your business, your operation? There is no such a thing as, oh, I'm going to read this article here and understand who my client is. Well, you can get the theory of the methodology that you can apply, but your clients are within your business. taking actions at every second in your website. Your clients are coming in and out. Your visitors, your users, your clients who purchase from you, they are giving this information at all the time because e-commerces are 24/7. They open 24/7, 365 days a year. That's the beauty of online business. You don't have a 9 to 5 operation. You are open 24/7, 365 days a year. And at every second or minute, depends on the frequency of visitors you have this data coming in. And the more you understand and you analyze that, you will have a clear vision. Who is your ideal clients? Who's your worst clients? Clients you don't want. But here's the thing. Your ideal client represents approximately 5% of your customer database. And that's a very accurate number. You can check this on your e-commerce, you'll see it will be orbiting around this number. Your worst clients represent approximately 75% of your database. Well, here we have these two extremes. Your ideal clients, they represent very little. They are very little in numbers. And your worst clients, well, they are the majority of your database. You didn't know that? Yes, this is like that. You might be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to just delete them from a database. Not going to happen because it will rearrange and these numbers will continue to be the same because this is how the market operates once again. So they are the 75% of your business. But here we have something very interesting that you have to pay attention. This is the call of this webinar. I hope you're really participating here and paying attention because what we're going to cover here, it's important for you to understand and to have this better vision that I mentioned. You have in the middle your sympathetic clients, the clients that have this sympathy for you. They represent your average clients. However, they are the one who pays your bill. Because here we have, in practical terms, in real world mathematics, you can see that in your business, what Pareto principle attests, that 20% of your clients represent 80% of your revenue. So who is paying your bills here? Who is making your companies grow? Who's giving you stability for the future? Are this yellow here that I put in yellow, your medium RFM. Your ideal clients, they are ideal, they love you, they are great, you wish everyone were like them, but they don't pay your bill. Your worst clients, they're terrible, you wish you don't have those clients, they are there, but they don't pay your bill, even though they're so representative in numbers. Who pays your bill is the middle RFM. Those clients that are in between. And the more you understand this difference and knows how to analyze them, the better will be your communication. And you're not going to just spend your resource, energy, time, and money trying to communicate with some clients that doesn't need or doesn't deserve that time, energy, and resource that you're applying. You're wasting money, you're wasting time talking and using this kind of language with the client that doesn't want to hear that, or the other kind of language with the other client that's not necessary for you to talk like that. So in practical terms, you can consider, for example, this 75% low RFM. You can use the same language as used for your prospects because they're very similar to prospect and their behaviors, although they once bought from you. So technically, you cannot call them prospects. Prospect is those who are trying to attract to convert. But there's been so long time they don't buy. They spend so little money. They don't remember your name, your brand. So for them, when they come again, they will consider to be the first time. So that's why you can consider. This is just a suggestion. But here's the thing. In reality, who is your 5%? Well, your champions. Your champions, they are your best clients, of course, your best customers. They buy a lot. They just bought recently and they spent lots of money, lots of money. I'm not saying just above average. I'm saying your top 5%, top 10% of spenders, they are there. Okay, they spend lots of money. Your lower customers, well, they're pretty close to your champions, except that they don't have these reasons as the champions. They buy frequently, They spent a lot of money too, but not, they don't have so much recency. That's why they're not champions. Maybe they were champions, and then within time they scale down to loyal customer. But that's the thing. Once you know, you will always try to bring up these customers in this scale here. Let's go again to the extreme, to your worst clients. Well, here you have your hibernating, which we call those clients that they have very low frequency to say no, recent almost zero because they don't buy from you for a long time. And when they bought, they spent very little money. They are in the lowest range of spenders in your website. And the lost are even below that. No, it's being a long time they don't buy, zero frequency, maybe one, maybe they bought once or twice, that's it, but usually it's one time only. And they spent very little money. They bought the lowest products you have. Maybe your return on investment was almost zero on these clients because you spent money to bring them. They came to a shop and they bought something that's almost the same as you spent to bring them as a lead to your website. So that's why you can consider them okay lost. Or you can use the strategy to bring them up to your funnel to test, to make some tests as prospect, but without spending so much money, energy, and resource. You know strategically how you can apply your campaigns and everything to this type of clients. Though they are not the clients you want to focus. You want to focus on these mid-range clients, right? As I mentioned, your best clients, they're good, but you don't want to focus on them. You need to use the knowledge you have from them to prepare how you're going to talk to these in yellow here that I added to your middle average clients, right? Here we have 6 classification. Your potential loyalist, okay, they are recent customer, but they already spent a lot. You have your new customer who just bought or maybe bought a couple of times, promising. Okay, I'm gonna open here, but not necessarily go over each one of them. I want to talk about something that I think it's more important. When you make your campaigns, let me reduce this so you can see it better. When you make your social media campaigns, you know you can create lookalikes. So when you know your ideal client, you can download that list, upload to Facebook, and say, listen, go after people like that. You want to do the lookalike. Or you can do even better. You can create a system to personally contact some clients of these classifications. I'm not talking, we're going to talk, I'm not talking you have to call and reach individually each one of them. But these are the clients you want to talk to. Either with a survey, you can send them a survey, give them some benefits to fill up the survey. Why are you going to send a survey to all your client base, your database, if everyone there, you don't know who they are? But these champions, for example, you know who they are, and you need to send a survey just for the champions. You need to hear from the champions what they have to say about you, why they're buying from you, and what makes them keep buying from you, not choosing the competitors. Even sometimes the price is lower with some other competitor for some period of time, because we know the oscillation of pricing. Sometimes they choose to buy from you, even with the opportunity they have to buy with somebody else. Why is that? And many other questions you can make. The better the questions you make, the better will be the answers and the results you can get from these answers. So here you are talking to your champions to understand why they are buying from you and how you can use that knowledge to convince other people to buy from you. So you talk to the champions, get that information from different perspectives. You use that information then to apply on your communication with the clients who pays your bill, these mid average customers here. This is how you start to create, to really see how customer intelligence is being applied to your business. And the same, you go to the extreme. You go to the bottom of this list. You see your hibernating and lost, and you tell your team, your marketing team, listen, we don't want these kind of clients here anymore. We don't want, let's change the copywriting, let's use a different approach, let's use a different offer. We want to avoid these people. Yes, because clients, they cost you money, visitors, users, leads, you know that, how much a lead costs, especially here on Black Friday. This webinar now is being running, right? Now we're now live at December 17. We had Black Friday a couple of weeks ago, and who works with these advertisements knows how expensive the leads um, become on during this period of year. So leads are expensive. So you want to attract the right people, and you need to know who are the people you want to attract, and also who are the people you don't want to attract. So you need to use them as well as a benchmarking. So these two extremes, your best clients and your worst clients, they are great as a benchmarking for your communication. So you know how to communicate with the rest. So the average client pays your bill. This is the message. Remember this. Okay, your business is not made by your best clients. Your business is not made because you have only terrible clients. Your business is made because your average client pays your bill. And in order for you to grow, you need to know well who is this average clients, how they behave, how can you make them to grow on this scale, to become more and more closer to your champions. Of course, in real world, you're not going to have your entire database as champions. I mentioned that, but you want to work for that to happen. So the highest you try to throw the ball. Well, you will always reach higher and higher levels. You know, the more you try, the higher and higher levels you will reach. So this is how you need to have this mindset for your business. We are about to start a new year. So if you have been focused on your business, as I mentioned, like suppliers, logistics, pricing, catalogs, websites, platforms, but you're not paying attention to your clients, to know your clients. Imagine, that's why we said, and I will now turn here the screen 1 second again. That's why I mentioned edrone wants to be the central intelligence agent to your business. The idea that we are using this term is, well, here is where you start to understand that the benefits of having a one-stop shop. You can, of course, Frankenstein your operation. You can have a pop-up with this tool, this platform. You can send your email to the other platform. You can have a chat from this other provider. You can you can make dynamic window displays with this other provider, as we mentioned, this Frankenstein operation. But the thing is, this data being collected from these different tools, they are not talking to each other because these tools they don't talk to each other. So there is no integration, there is no system that will give you a clarity for the long term. You're just solving an immediate problem. You're selling now, you need a pop-up, so you have a pop-up, you need a display, you have a display, you need a chat, you have a chat, so you're solving an immediate problem. But in order for you to grow, you need to think in a broader way. Say, listen, I need to have a system that will allow me to use all these features that communicate among each other because they are integrated. And this data coming in, flowing in through the system, are processed by this algorithm, generating information that I can apply to my business. And the reason we are this one-stop shop, and the reason that was the reason, one of the reasons, of course, we got this more than $5 million investment that we are now moving forward to grow, not only in numbers, but also in product quality and everything that we have on the lineup. This is because of the power of the one-stop shop. Business needs to understand that what will differentiate e-commerces in the future is not price and quality. This will be pretty much the same because suppliers will be pretty much the same. So what will help you to differentiate your business is intelligence, is know which data to collect, how to process, generate good pieces of information, and have the means to apply that information. That is intelligence working, operating. So I thank you for your participation. I wish you a Merry Christmas and, of course, a fantastic 2021. No matter what's going on in the world, your business depends on your own strategy. That's how it works. We know this everywhere and every time. You always have winners, right? There is no such a time in the world that humanity had crisis, that there was not even one winner. Somebody was winning. And the person who was winning because they saw something that everyone else didn't see. So when it comes to e-commerce, we're talking about online business, you are after one currency only. You're after one currency. The currency that the gold you're mining to get this precious gem is attention. I mentioned in the beginning. You're fighting for attention. And like you, many other companies, many other producers, and everyone on the internet. So how can you catch the attention of someone that you don't know what they want, how they behave, what their interests? So the more you know someone, the better you can reach that person, their heart, their mind, everything that relates to that person. So that's why the ability to know people it's very important. You need to understand that the more you understand your customers, you need to I repeated the understanding, right? You need to understand that the more you know your customers and are aware of how they behave in different seasons and different ways with different offers, the better will be your capacity to attract their attention. And that goes for your leads, that goes for your prospects, for your clients, for people who works with you. You need to know people in order to attract their attention. So I thank you for your participation. Here is our contact. If you haven't talked to us yet, if you were invited by someone to be here, and great, so contact us. Hello at edrone.me. You have our phone numbers here on the screen. Have office in Poland. Here is in Krakow. It's our headquarters. I'm here in Krakow right now. We also have in Brazil, as I mentioned, Brazil is our second largest market. In Stockholm, Barcelona. So here's our phone numbers, our contact, and I see you next time. I wish you all the best in 2021. Bye-bye.